This video is brought to you by my latest book, How to Play Melodic Rock Lead Guitar, a comprehensive guide to doing exactly that, playing melodic rock lead guitar. This is not just some collection of scale patterns and tabs, although you do get plenty of those, but you also get an entire chapter on how to come up with your own licks, as well as video content, tutorials and demonstrations, loads of jam tracks, and all the way through I'm encouraging you to expand your fretboard knowledge and showing you how you can think in a more musical and melodic way. Check out the link in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, something a little bit different today in that I don't tend to do many pedal-based videos because I believe in sticking to the old adage, kind of talk about what you're interested in. And if truth be told, I'm not really a pedal kind of guy. I might have mentioned this in the past. In terms of gain, I just like to kind of plug the guitar straight into the old faithful there, the Blue Guitar Amp 1, and take the recording output from that and maybe add a little bit of reverb in the mix and little bit of delay sometimes as well. So I'm not really kind of, I don't have a pedal board. I don't really use pedals. So hence I don't tend to make many videos on the topic. But one exception to the rule is this pedal here, the Universal Audio Lion 68 pedal. I've been curious about this for quite some time. It's essentially a Marshall Plexi in pedal form, and a very kind chap called Ian, who goes by Mississippi Blues when you see him in the comment section, has one of these, and he said, "Do you want a loan of it?" So I said, "Yes, I'd love to." The point of today's video isn't going to be any kind of deep dive review. It's just a quick first impressions. Imagine you were playing with this pedal in your friendly local guitar shop and you hadn't read the manual. How easy is it to get on with? And well, I'm a bloke, I don't read the manual anyway, so that's what we're going to be putting to the test today. A quick rundown of the controls. If you've ever used any of these old kind of Marshall Plexi style amps, then you'll quickly find your way around this. You've got two channels, volume 1 and volume 2. This isn't like a kind of clean, dirty channel sort of thing that you get on modern amplifiers. This is like the old school two-channel Marshall amp where you've got a normal channel and a bright channel, and you can use a jumper cable to link them together. That's already sort of pre-done inside the pedal, because that's the way most people would use that sort of amp. Then basically output, well, that's clear enough, volume. So the way you get your tone dialed in is by kind of adjusting the ratio of the volume 1, which is like the bright channel, and volume 2, which is the normal channel. You kind of blend them together. There's your output control there. Bass, middle and treble, self-explanatory. You've got an alt switch here that when you put it up into the alt position, these bottom three controls control different parameters. So this is room. It just adds a little bit of ambience, as my missus would say, to the tone. A little bit of kind of room reverb, I guess. I've had that. I would probably turn that off because I like to use reverb in the DAW rather than anywhere else. You've got presence, just to give it that little bit of top end sparkle, and you've got boost. And this switch here just kind of toggles between the different impulse responses that come in the pedal. And then this one here it just kind of goes between the different variations of the amp. You've got the 68 Marshall 68 bass, which is predominantly a bass player's amp, aimed at bass players, but a lot of guitarists like the sort of a mellower sound of that. The lead, the Marshall 68 Super Lead, and then in the down position it's brown. Can we think of a guitar player who famously used to talk about his favourite brown sound? Yes, so it's that sort of modded higher gain Marshall with the variac on the input, as per, well, we know who we're talking about, don't we? Mr. Van Halen. 2-foot switches down here. This one activates the what's called the live mode, where the controls are doing exactly what they're set to, and this one here, which is the preset mode, so you can kind of dial your sounds into a particular set of settings, go to the and then just hold this switch down, the Alt switch down, and it when this green light as it comes on flashes here, then that preset is saved. So then you can chuck it in the gig bag, and it doesn't matter if the knobs get disturbed or anything like that. You've still got your sound kind of dialed in there at when you hit that foot switch. So what I'm going to do now is just plug it all in and just see how easy it is to dial in a tone that I'm going to be happy with. I'll see you in a second. Right then, so roughly 10 minutes of knob twiddling and switch fiddling later, I think I've got a sound dialed in that I'm pretty happy with. These are the settings that we've got. You can see volume 1 is dimed out there. Volume 2 is at about just about 2 o'clock, and bass, middle and treble set where you can see them. I'm using just one of the included impulse responses. I didn't look up what they were. As I said, I'm not reading the manual to do this, just as a test of how easy it is to get on with this pedal straight away. So those are the settings. And on the guitar, let's just point the camera down a little. I don't have numbers on the volume control on the guitar. I tend to gauge it by where the little switch hole, screw hole is that secures the knob to the shaft of the pot. And I know that when I'm kind of dimed in full on this, the screw hole kind of faces that way, and at the moment it's kind of pointing up at me. So I've got the volume control backed off quite a way, and this is the clean tone I'm getting with those settings that you saw. Sounds like this. In short, a rather charming, jangly, warm, bell-like Marshall clean tone. I often think Marshall get a bit of a bad rap for their clean sounds. I've always found a good Marshall sound will always clean up beautifully well from the volume control, which is how I like to do it. Then if I go to the bridge humbucker, I was on in terms of the pickups there, I was on the setting which is the outer two coils. If I go to the bridge humbucker and just crank the volume up all the way and then back it off until, as I say, the screw hole has gone from there, it's now pointing towards a selector switch, I've got a really nice, credible, I think, rock rhythm tone, which sounds like this. Then volume control all the way up on the guitar, and we get a nice lead sound, a bit like this. Which is about as much gain as I'm ever going to need, and does it all from the volume control and pickup selector on the guitar. That's how I like to do things. I just find it a more organic, easy way to do it, and I certainly find it easier than reading a manual, for example, on some menu encrusted deep dive parameter rich you know, kind of multi-effects thing. Yeah, as you can tell, I've got a little bit of delay and reverb on, which I tend to have on all the time in Reaper. This is where I play. I play in this room. I've got usually the Blue Guitar Amp 1. Today, obviously, I'm not using that. Going into Reaper, where I had a little bit of reverb and delay for a bit of stereo spread, which comes out of the studio monitors on the desk in front of me. And it makes me very happy with the sound that I get that way, and very, very impressed with this pedal. Coming up on Sunday, we're going to be doing the usual sort of review type video where you're going to hear the sounds. Let's just have another look at the settings I was using there. You're going to be hearing those settings. I've saved these as the preset in this pedal, so I don't, you know, even if I do knock the controls, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're going to be using those settings in my usual mix type format where, you know, we hear what it sounds like with bass and drums and everything around it. Full range of sounds, clean, crunchy, big lead sound, edge of breakup, all the usual stuff I do in those types of demos. That's coming up on Sunday though, so that's a tale for another day, and this is the video for today. My first impressions of the UA 68 Lion or Lion 68 pedal, which has been, as I say, very kindly lent to me by a very generous chap called Ian. Thank you, Ian, and thank you all for, there's me phone pinging, thank you all for watching, and you know, if you've enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. If you haven't already done so, drop me a like as well while you're at it. And of course, don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 p.m. UK time. We drink beer and we chat because it's Friday, and that's what you do on a Friday. It's a great way to kick off a weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.